Welcome to the first Marriage Pursuit chat. I'm here with my great friend Brent, and we are going to bounce around some topics related to dating and singleness and the pursuit of marriage. And so we're glad you're joining along with us. Brent, would you like to just give them a little background about why you're excited about the Marriage Pursuit tribe and the dating world in general?
Sure. Well, I'm excited because I see a tremendous opportunity out there to help out a lot of people in their 30s and 40s that are really looking for some assistance. So they're looking for a place where they can meet someone face to face, and they're also looking for someone that can help them, guide them through the process of marriage.
Interesting.
And there's really no one out there doing this. And if they are, I don't know who they are.
You felt sort of lost, or you felt like you didn't have enough guidance in dating, in years past.
Yeah, well, I mean, at a right. I haven't really, where do you
had
really, training, coaching, and that's one of the most important things to have coaching on. Now, I've had tremendous coaching on financial things and how to better yourself in a lot of different areas, Mr. Ziegler, numerous things like that. But there needs to be someone out there that is giving someone the skills of how to date. I mean, it's so important. That's going to control the whole rest of your life on who you find with your mate. You need to make sure that you pick the right mate, and as soon as possible. And if you're meeting with the right person, make sure that you're not making mistakes that could actually end that relationship. So, it's extremely important. And I've dealt with situations where I've made mistakes before with really, really high quality girls, and I could have, gone a better direction.
And you have a sense of regret, or you, in some sense, wish you could do it over again. And now you're going to learn and do it better the next time.
Exactly. So I've got a passion to help people.
Yes. Interesting. That's right. Oh, that's great. It's actually said that 90% of happiness in life comes from one's choice of a spouse. So there's a very, very big correlation. Something very important.
Happy wife, happy life. You hear that a lot.
What's a question or something that people ask you about dating? I mean, what is it that people need to know? What are they asking about?
What are they asking me about? Well, sometimes it's like, a lot of times people think I'm already married.
Yes,
I come across at my office, they just assume. But then I find someone that's like, well, why aren't you married? Why haven't you, found someone?
So they sort of imply that because you're not married, there's maybe you've done something wrong, or there's a problem.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Which obviously would get old and be frustrating at times. I know I encountered that too. So what do you say when someone says, why aren't you married, Brent?
Well, I haven't found the right person yet, which is what obviously a lot of people say. But I know that I've been extremely picky, and I've eliminated, and my bar was set very, very high, and then I'll find someone that I like, and maybe make mistakes at a certain point. So there's a lot of things. I think God put me in this position right now where we sit for a specific reason.
Wow.
I know that, no doubt about it, that this is going to be very successful for what we're doing here. So I'm excited.
So he's harnessing your experiences, the exciting times, the disappointments, all to bring you to this point where you are starting an organization to radically encourage Christian singles here in the Houston area and other parts of Texas.
Completely. I couldn't figure out exactly what God was doing in my life. Why is it God was putting all these situations in my life? Now I know exactly why it is for me to actually help hundreds of thousands, whatever the number is out there
of singles
to actually date in the proper way. How to make sure that, like our friend Zig Ziglar already spoke about, the wheel of life. Well, we want to add in that dating wheel of life and what we're trying to do, that you look at every single angle. You look at your physical aspect, your financial aspect, your spiritual life, and you put everything together. Is this moving forward in order for me to help date successful? And if it's not, we need to figure out what it is. A lot of people have self-esteem problems and numerous things. And
Emotional issues,
and we need to eliminate that. And figure out what it is to help people get that dating wheel rolling, and there's a lot of frustration because people have been beat down. I've been beat down too, but you got to pick yourself up and move on, and that's what we're going to be helping people do.
I know you're passionate about this holistic approach to dating, where people are aware of and seek to improve all the different aspects of their life. I know one of the funny stories I share in my book is that I wore some outfits that really made my wife chuckle when we were first dating, and I didn't really have any style help at the time, and I could have benefited from some good education or just help in that area.
Right.
And so I know that's one thing that it's great that you're excited to help connect members of the Marriage Pursuit Tribe with lots of different experts or resources in order to address the various elements of our life.
Exactly.
Because when you're marrying someone, you're marrying this entire package of a person, and it's important for them to have addressed some of their shortcomings or flaws.
Right.
Not to achieve perfection, but in order to be as prepared as possible.
Right. Exactly.
Before they walk into the lifelong commitment of marriage.
Right. In your book, the first 30 days of dating is an awesome book. A lot of people jump into dating and they're not really sure, okay, what to do. I'm on my third date. Okay, what do I do next?
Yes.
And you don't want to be in that situation when you're in the game. You need to know exactly what you need to do next. And there's no reason to waste time.
Yeah.
As well. So a good guide.
No reason to waste time with someone who's not a legitimate candidate for you.
Not a legitimate time. There's no reason to waste. And, and if you're with the right person, you'll make sure that you're flowing in a good pace. Okay.
Yes.
And then also, what we're proposing is for coaching as well. So sometimes it's good just to talk to someone.
Yeah, that is very true.
Let them know where you're at. You may have some questions. Hey, this happened. What do you think about this?
That is true. Yeah.
So, and I'm excited about giving an opportunity for people to, email in, call in, and then figure out what we need to do to help them out.
Yeah. That's in the secret Facebook group for Marriage Pursuit members. I foresee so much interaction, questions, dialogue, where we're chiming in and we're giving our guidance or the coaching that God gives us, and then I also foresee lots of the other tribe members chiming in and helping one another out.
Totally.
Sometimes it's hard in singles groups to find a place where you can really talk openly about what's going on in your challenge or your struggle in your dating life, because you've got other people who are maybe competing with you or attempting to sabotage you.
Right.
And we're very much anticipating a tribe community that's supportive, that adheres to the code of conduct, and that supports one another. So what's something you would ask me about my dating journey?
In your dating journey? Well, I mean, whenever you met Jennifer, what do you think it was that you did right to pursue her? What was it that kind of...
Okay, that's good. That's a really good question. With my pursuit of Jennifer, I immediately recognized that there was a great potential when I first met her at the Valentine's Day party at church. And so I went in immediately with a pursuit strategy. I wasn't attempting to be her friend. I was pursuing her for marriage. I was attempting to get to know her so that I could decide if she was the one for me and share with her who I was so she could decide if I was one for her. So really I went in with a determined pursuit mindset, and I feel like that made a lot of difference. So I was focused. When I first asked her out, she said she was busy the first night I mentioned, and then the second night I mentioned was a legitimate thing. I just sort of kept on going. I said, well, what about the next night? I just kept on reeling through her schedule until she was open. And I made it clear to her that I was very driven in intent. I know that was one of the successful elements.
Awesome. At what point did you realize, hey, you know what? This is definitely a girl I want to spend my life with?
It was fairly early on when we were dating and we were spending time at our apartment and talking, and we shared a lot of interest in Christian missions and ministry, and there was at some point it started to well up in me within just a few months, where I knew I loved this woman. I would do anything to keep her, or would fight any competitor off, and so I knew within the first couple of months she was the one.
Awesome. I knew the first time that I saw her.
You knew the first time you saw her.
First time that I saw
with me.
her with you. Well, I knew whenever I saw her at the club at that rodeo. It was kind of like that. That country club.
Yes,
we went to the first time I met her.
Yes.
There was we think about 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
And I saw this girl. You didn't tell me who she was even. I saw her come out of the restroom, and I was like, "That's her. That's Jeremy.
Wow.
That's Jeremy's wife."
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't even know that. Wow.
I knew it was her.
So you saw her, but you didn't know that was the Jennifer that I was
No, you had
dating.
never introduced her to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really powerful.
You just tell.
So that goes to show how important the voice of a friend or a wingman is in this process. And we established a good friendship. We were truly helping one another work towards finding our wife. And
Totally.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I look forward to what God will do with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So when it comes to the tribe, I'm looking forward to some of these first events where we start to get the first few people together and begin to generate excitement. And then it's going to be great as each month new people come in and come to the event and get excited. I mean, how cool is it to have something to look forward to?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
That you're not having to plan, you're not having to scrape around and try to round people up. Essentially, we're doing it, for you. We're doing it for the members,
Right.
and we're giving them something to look forward to socially. And I know it's so encouraging when when you're in dry season, and you're like, oh man, next month I'm looking forward to what may happen there. And so, what about the conferences? What gets you fired up? I know you've been to a lot of seminars and retreats. What excites you about our vision for the Marriage Pursuit conferences?
The conferences, well, on the conferences on a larger scale, we're gonna bring in a lot of different people as well that actually they're experts in a certain area.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to get someone in there financial. That's an expert. Get someone in there that's personal, physical coach, trainer, and a couple of different other areas as well.
Yeah.
And then bring them in, and we're all just gonna increase our wisdom in life.
Nice.
And just be a better person all the way around.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure out things to do in dating and things not to do in dating.
Nice.
We're going to do the ABCs.
You're going to do games and exercises, aren't
Right.
you? Yeah.
So we're going to have more confidence in ourselves. So when we go out on a date, male or female, we're going to know what to do. So if this situation happens, how to respond back. How maybe not to over-talk. I think you mentioned that was something that you could have done different.
Yeah.
Me too.
I over-talked. Yeah.
I used to talk. I've been in sales my whole life. I'm selling myself.
Yes.
That's a bad thing to do. You don't want to do that. You want to find out about the other person.
Yeah.
You want to ask the right question, draw them in, and it's so.
Yeah. A lot of good thoughts. Well, this is great stuff, and this will conclude our first Marriage Pursuit chat, and where we look forward to more visits and more videos and more coaching and more input, and we always appreciate your questions and the things that are on your mind. So we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.